Hari Om and welcome to all the divine Atmajyotis to today's Bhagavadgita Satsang. Let us continue our contemplation on the fourth chapter of Bhagavad-Gita based on the talks by sriprabhuji, Purna Yoga Darshana talks. So far we have reviewed our questions and our perspectives up to 11th shloka. Today we will be picking up 12th shloka of the fourth chapter, which is so this is the 12th shloka of the fourth chapter. Kankshantah karmanam siddhim yajanta iha devataha kshipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. In this world, those desiring success in material activities worship the celestial gods, since material rewards manifest quickly. This is what the shloka says. And based on that, these are the three questions that have come up as of now. Who are celestial gods? How does material benefits manifest quickly? If there is material benefit, then is there something called as a non-material benefit? And how or why would that take more time? So these are some of the questions that are coming up. So before we jump into contemplation, are there any other questions that anyone wants to frame with regards to the 12th shloka? Okay. If not, then let us begin our contemplation for today. Smitaji, would you like to begin?
Who are celestial gods? How does material benefits manifest quickly? What is non-material benefit, and how would that take more time? By celestial gods, I understand that we pray to many other gods. I mean, in various forms. So it is referring to the shloka is referring to other gods in various way. So our belief, our cultures have different gods or different references to other way of worshipping. So it is in context of that we are referring to celestial gods.
Is it possible for you to share any one or two examples?
I mean, in terms of say people and they are in one way manifestation of the supreme God, but our belief that when we do different Devi pujas or we do different Pad pujas or we do different kind of gods we believe in, that or even sometimes our own community level gods that they have, right? Or Bhuta Kolas and different types of God. Every culture, every um, sect have their own beliefs, right? So that is referring to that. Is what my understanding is.
Okay.
So they have their own belief that okay, if you pray to this one, you get things will get done immediately. I have heard this. I mean, there is this temple. Of course, we have all may have visited sometime in Mysore or near Mysore. Nimishamba, Nimishadalla agbidutte ನೀವು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ. Then somebody told me there is Shanamba now. ನಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಷಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ನೀವು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದು ಅಂತ. So while yeah, not to hurt anybody's sentiments, but that's our belief that X can give this. ಅಥವಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಅದು ತಿರುಪತಿಲಿ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ರಸ್ತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. If you go there, you put stones one top of the other. ಮನೆ ಕಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ it will how many stones you put, that many story building you will make. Something like that. So these are the kind of we are also praying with materialistic intent only. Example, pass ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ಲಿ, ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗ, so some, all those are the um, immediate benefits that we look at. So that is what is being referred here. At least what I assume or I understand.
Wonderful. So would you like to share your perspectives on the other two questions also?
Yeah.
How
So
does
yeah,
it? Yeah.
how does material benefits manifest quickly? So firstly, what is material benefit? Yeah, I'm more seeing it again. So this
This is what Krishna is saying.
correct.
Who are desiring success, mane katbeku annoru, like you said. So we'll worship that God. What Krishna
Yeah.
is saying is that manifests quickly.
Yes. So it is why it is not that Krishna is not, or rather, our prayers is not being ignored even in the for the material world, right? To survive in the material world also, there are certain things that a man desires or a man needs. Okay, and they do manifest again based on what you have done or your actions you are performing. They do get there. That is also manifest. You are seeing it in this world. Uh, that also the Lord is giving. It is not that it is being ignored. That is what it means. So He's not saying, "I will only give you, higher order pleasure." This all is not. Even the Lord is bestowing on us on also on our day-to-day lives. ಹುಟ್ಟದ ಮೇಲೆ ಹುಲ್ ಮೇಯ್ಸೆ ಮೇಯಿಸ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತಾರಲ್ಲ ಆ ತರ. So he will take care of that also. That is what it says. It benefits quickly. I don't think it says quick. Does it say quickly in the shloka?
So it essentially says, you look at the word
When I
by
read it, Shipram.
so there is a, yeah, see this word Kshipram.
Okay.
Kshipram hi manushe loke.
So when the here we should understand the quickly as in the material world of time, this time, right? In the that then I understand it in that way, that when we say in the current time that you are in, but assume, but here if you believe that in our belief is that we man uh, we just leave our body and the soul is coming back. I mean, to put it in a so in that sense, um, the rewards from a non-material rewards is not bound by this life, the current life. That is what I am assuming, that my understanding is.
Okay. And what's your viewpoint for the third one? So if this is material benefit, if it is about material benefit, is there non-material benefit? And does he imply that it is going to take time?
The non-material benefit is uh, yes, it implies it takes time because it comes out of your bhakti and believe that, bhakti that uh, one it has to, beyond the materialistic, has to look at our prayers and our worship beyond the materialistic world. You are seeking divine intervention, beyond living in the materialistic world. So that is what here he is referring to as non-material benefit.
In the shloka, there is no explicit connection to non-material.
Non-material, correct.
It's an inferred question because he's talking about material benefit. Then is there also non-material? And if he says material benefit manifests quickly, does it mean non-material benefit takes time?
That's that. When you say again time, here again, because it is not mentioned explicitly that whether it will take time or not. Here, non-material benefit is not to only living only limited to this life. That's why it may seem that it is taking more life. When we are saying material benefit is manifest quickly, this benefit will manifest within this time, in your current life on the earth.
So what is that Shri Krishna wants you and me to learn from the shloka? And if you also look at it with reference to the previous.
Yes.
So in previous, Shri Krishna has said, in whatever way they surrender unto me, I reciprocate accordingly. And everyone follows my path, knowingly or unknowingly. And that is followed by this shloka.
Yes, so that is what I mean in reference with the previous shloka only I was saying that the Lord does not disappoint you in whichever way you submit to him. Even if it is for material benefit, done with good intent and with bhakti, he will also fulfill that desire for you. So he will not disappoint you even in that uh, uh, perspective. Right.
Is there anything that you would like to share?
No, I listen to others and come back on the non-material benefit part.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Smitaji. Padma Amma?
Sir. Hari Om. Now, who are celestial gods? ಈಗ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಯಮಬದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ಯಾವುದು ಆಕಾಶ ಕಾಯಗಳಾಗ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಕಾಲಗಳಾಗ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆಕಾಶ ಕಾಯಗಳು ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಹೊಡೆದಾಡುತ್ವಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಹೇಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ರೊಟೇಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾಗಬೇಕು, ಅದರದ್ರ ಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಯಮಬದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಋತುಗಳು ಹಾಗೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಜೀವಿಗಳ ಜೀವನ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಆಹಾರ ಅದು ಹೇಗೆ ಒದಗಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅವುಗಳು ಸೈಕಲ್ ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದೂ ಒಂದು ನಿಯಮಬದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಕಾಣದಿರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಕೈಯಿಂದ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೀವಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಸನಾತನ ಧರ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ 3,000,000 ದೇವತೆಗಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರು ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ನಡೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಹೀಗೆ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯವು ನಡಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ಕೂ ಒಂದೊಂದು ದೇವತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನೇಮಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನ್ನ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ. ಈಗ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ನಾನು ಇವಾಗ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೇನೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಉಸಿರು ಬರಬೇಕು, ಆ ಗಂಟ್ಲಿಂದ ಅದು ಹೊರಗಡೆಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕು, ನಾಲಿಗೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಪಂದಿಸಬೇಕು. ಹೀಗೆ 4ರಿಂದ 6 ದೇವತೆಗಳು, ಏನೋ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನಂಗೆ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 6 ದೇವತೆಗಳ ಸಹಾಯ ಬೇಕು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ 6 ದೇವತೆಗಳು ಇದ್ದು ನಡೆಸಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಅಂತ. ಹೀಗೆ ಒಂದೊಂದಕ್ಕೂ ಒಂದೊಂದು ದೇವತೆ ಇದೆ ನನ್ನ ರಕ್ತ ಸಂಚಾರ ಆಗಬಹುದು, ಉಸಿರಾಟ ಆಗಬಹುದು, ನನ್ನ ಕೈ ಮೇಲಕ್ಕೆ ಎತ್ತೋಕ್ಕಾಗಬಹುದು. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆನೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಈ ನನ್ನ ದೇಹದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಇಡೀ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾಂಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನೇನು ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರನ್ನ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಶಕ್ತಿ ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಶಕ್ತಿಯೇ ಈ ದೇವತೆಗಳು ಅಂತಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೇಳೋದು. ಹಾಗೆ ಈಗ ಗುರುತ್ವಾಕರ್ಷಣ ಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನ ಕಂಡು ಹಿಡಿದ್ರು. ಅದರಿಂದ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ನಮಗೆ ಆಗುವಂತಹ ಸಾಮಗ್ರಿಗಳನ್ನ, ನಮ್ಮ ದಿನನಿತ್ಯ ಬಳಕೆಗೆ ಆಗುವಂತಹದ್ದನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿದ್ರು. ಅದು ಹೇಗೆ ಆ ನಿಯಮಗಳನ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಆ ದೇವತೆಯನ್ನ ಅವರು ಆರಾಧನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು. ನಾವು ಹಿಂದಿನ ಶ್ಲೋಕದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ದೇವತೆಗಳನ್ನ, ದೇವರನ್ನ ದೇವರ ಹತ್ರ ನಾನು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಆರಾಧನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಭಗವಂತನು ನನಗೆ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪಂದಿಸುತ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಹಾಗೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ರೂಪವನ್ನೇ ಪಡಿತಾರೆ ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ದೇವತೆಯನ್ನ ಆರಾಧನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಗೂಢತೆ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಭೇದಿಸಿ ಅನೇಕ ಸಿದ್ಧಿಗಳನ್ನ ಪಡೆದುಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಕೆಲವರು ನೀರಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ನಡೆಯುವಂತಹ ಸಿದ್ಧಿ. ನೀರಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ನಡಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಸಿದ್ಧಿ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಮುಳುಗೋಗ್ತೀವಿ ಕಾಲಿಟ್ಟ ತಕ್ಷಣ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಣಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಮೇಲ್ ಹಿಡಿದಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಡಿಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಕೆಲವರು ಸಿದ್ಧಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆವಾಗ ಆ ಒಂದು ಕಲೆಯನ್ನ ಕಲಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, ಆ ಪ್ರಾಣಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನ ಹಿಡಿದಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಹೇಗೆ ಈ ಪ್ರಾಣಶಕ್ತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗಾಳಿ, ಆ ಗಾಳಿಯನ್ನ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಹಿಡಿದಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಅವರು ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಭೌತಿಕವಾಗಿ ನಮಗೆ ಆಗುವಂತಹ ಉಪಯೋಗಗಳಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಕರ್ಮಗಳಿಂದ ಕರ್ಮ ಫಲಗಳು. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಈ ದೇವತೆಗಳನ್ನ ಆರಾಧಿಸ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ. ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕೈ ಮುಗಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಂಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಸಿದ್ಧಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅನ್ನೋ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾನಿಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಹಾಗೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಪಂಚಿಕವಾಗಿ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಸಿದ್ಧಿಗಳು ಸಿಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಕರ್ಮವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಆ ಕರ್ಮ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಸನಾತನ ಧರ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಅನೇಕ ಸಿದ್ಧಿಗಳನ್ನ ಪಡೆದುಕೊಂಡಂಥವರು ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಮೆಡಿಸನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿದು ಅವುಗಳನ್ನ ಜನಗಳ ಉಪಯೋಗಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಂಥದ್ದು ಇದೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಈಗಿನ ಒಂದು ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್ ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅವುಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಸಿದ್ಧಿಗಳೇನೆ. ಅವುಗಳಿಂದ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಯೋಜನವನ್ನ ಪಡೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ಇವಾಗ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಡು ಹಿಡಿದ್ರು, ಅದು ಸಿದ್ಧಿನೇ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅದು ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ ಅನಿಸಿಕೆ. ಇದು ನಾನ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ನಮಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನ್ ಯಾರು ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅದು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೇನೆ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಯಾಣ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಮನುಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ. ಅವನಿಗೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಪಡಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಯಾರು, ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂದೆ, ಹೇಗೆ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಗೆ ನಿಯಂತ್ರಿಸಲ್ಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಇದ್ರ ಹಿಂದೆ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಒಂದು ಶಕ್ತಿನೇ ಇದೆ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾರಣವಾದಂತಹದ್ದು ಇದೆ, ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದಲೋ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಹೇಗೆ ಅನ್ನುವ ಒಂದು ನಿಗೂಢತೆಯನ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು, ನಾನು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ತಿಳಿದುಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಈ ಸಿದ್ಧಿಗಳನ್ನ ಪಡಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ರಾಜಸಿಕ್ ಗುಣ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ದಾಟಿ ಹೋದಾಗ ಅವನು ಸಾತ್ವಿಕ ಗುಣ, ಸತ್ವಗುಣದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತಾಗ ನಾನ್ ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವ ಒಂದು ಆಕಾಂಕ್ಷೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಗ ಗುರುಗಳು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ನಿನ್ಗೆ ನಾ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ನೀನ್ ಯಾರು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅಂತ. ಅವರು ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಮುಖೇನ ತಮಗೆ ತಿಳಿದಿರುವಂತಹ ಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನ ಒಬ್ಬ ಆಕಾಂಕ್ಷಿ ಯಾರಿರ್ತಾರೋ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ನಾನು ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವನು ನೆಮ್ಮದಿಯ ಜೀವನವನ್ನ ನಡೆಸಬಹುದು. ಅದು ನಾನ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನಗೆ ತಿಳಿದು ಬಂದೇ ಇರುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ಹರಿವು.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಷಿಪ್ರಂ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇಗ, ಕ್ಷಿಪ್ರಂ ಭವತಿ ಮಾನುಷೇ ಲೋಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಮಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೇಗ ಬೇಗ
ಬೇಗ ಬೇಗ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ
ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನಾವು ಇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳು ಹೊರಮುಖವಾಗಿ ಹರಿಯುತ್ತೆ. ನನಗ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಈ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹದ್ದೇ ಪಡಿಬೇಕು. ನನ್ನ ಜೀವನ ನಡಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅದೇ ಗುರಿ ಮೊದಲು. ಅದನ್ನ ಪಡೆದು ಸಮಾಧಾನವಾದಾಗ ನಾನು ಬೇರೆದನ್ನ ಹುಡುಕಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನನ್ಗೆ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ಪಡೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಈ ಸಿದ್ಧಿಗಳನ್ನ ಪಡೆಯೋದು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು.
ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಮಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಭೌತಿಕವಾಗಿರೋ ನಮಗೆ ಏನೋ ಆಸೆ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಭೌತಿಕ ಆಸೆ, ಅದರ ಸಿದ್ಧಿ ಬೇಗ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣ. ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗದು ಬೇಗ ಆಗತ್ತೆ? ಈಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಬೇಗ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡತ್ತಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಸಾಧನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು
ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ? ಕ್ಷಿಪ್ರಂ
ಆದ್ರೂ ಈ ಭೌತಿಕ ಶಕ್ತಿಗಳನ್ನ ಬೇಗ ಒಲಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. ನನ್ನನ್ನ ನಾನು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಟ್ರೆ ಇಂತಹ ಸಿದ್ಧಿಗಳನ್ನ ಪಡೆಯೋದು ಸುಲಭನೇ ಅನ್ನೋದು
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅನಿಸಿಕೆ. ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಅಮ್ಮ, ಧನ್ಯವಾದ. ಕೃಷ್ಣಾಜಿ.
Yeah. Who are celestial gods? Okay. My understanding is like celestial gods are devatas, and who is the maintainer and keeping everything on sync, like Padma Mato, like so keeping the materialistic thing like what rain, hair, and sunlight, and all the things, right, which is part of like Panchabhutas. So keeping those in sync, those are celestial. I mean, those who do this and being in the consciousness, and those are like the celestial god. How does material benefits manifest quickly? I think like one who desires for the material things. So these gods are the one who maintains and keeps everything in sync. And by worshipping them, we do karma. And because there are scriptures and also suggest, if we do puja, like they also tell us you have to be like, you have to follow specific routine, be like this than like before, and also perform a specific set of action to achieve anything. For example, to even to score good marks, one way of looking at one aspect is to like study these subjects and thing. Other aspect is like keeping mind in calm and eat good food, right food, sleep well, and also do good things. Don't talk bad about things. So that way, I think we are following. It is in a way telling us like to follow the paths of devatas, and also through that, like we are able to achieve that material benefits quickly. And in a way, why I'm this is my interpretation. Why it is saying quickly, I think like that is in a way like after achieving that, which is also leading towards the next step, which will show us what exactly is the success. Is it the material success is the real one, or is there anything else? So this will prompt us. The material success would prompt one being to achieve the ultimate success or ultimate liberation. That's how I am seeing this celestial worship, and through, and also in a way that it says like it will also reward quickly. So quickly, which is leading to the actual success. That's how I am seeing this. The non-material is the thing, right? Whatever we experience through this, like through the five senses, right? And there is something like uh, which we are not this body and mind. We are into this complexion, or we are into this understanding that whatever we feel through these senses and the mind, right? That's our ultimate happiness, and there's nothing like. And also through this material success, like we are also getting to know, like it's repetitive kind of thing, right? Then we are really asking a question, or which will prompt us to think to what is that apart or beyond this five senses feeling. Is there something else? So that's how I'm seeing that non-material success, or like how long it would take, that I'm really not sure. But non-material thing is this, apart from this five senses, how do we, is there anything else to make it understand, and those things are like will come under that. So that's how I'm seeing all these things.
And again, when Krishna says Devata, or what has been translated into English as celestial gods,
Mm.
what is your conception, or what is your understanding of who is a Devata, or what is a celestial god?
So it's not through the senses, but the one who maintains the order or being aligned, the cosmos or the consciousness, right? Keeping this materialistic world in a aligned way, in a right way. Those are called as devatas. That's my understanding.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Krishna.
Thank you.
So the word Devata, Deva, what it essentially means is a form of light. Devata means a form of light. Now, what is the light that is being referred? Is it this sunlight? Let's, for the time being, take it in that way itself. If you look at anything on this planet, it is all because of sun's light. Meaning what? The energy that is getting transmitted from the sun in the form of the light, is what essentially every other form is. When you notice, the basis of life evolving on this planet is because there is availability of food. Hunger is fundamental, it is there in the body, and to quench the hunger, there is a chain of food. You all know that. The so-called non-vegetarian animals eat vegetarian animals. Vegetarian animals eat the plants, and the plants make the food from the sunlight. So, in a way, every other form that you and I are experiencing is because of sun's light. So, in that way, everything is a form of light. The other way to understand form of light is anything that you experience in life is nothing but because of the divine awareness or consciousness that is shining in your heart. So, at the end of the day, when you look at your life, you say, I am right now seeing something. Whatever you are seeing, you say, I am seeing something. I'm hearing something. So, like that, through the five senses, the so called world is coming into your mind. And it is in the mind because of the awareness that you are able to see, hear, touch, smell, taste. So, in a way, everything is a form of the Devata. Deva means form of the light. So, whatever you are seeing, hearing, smelling, touching, tasting is nothing but manifestation of that divine awareness only. In what way? Without awareness, there is no cognition or consciousness of whatever that you say you are experiencing. And when you are experiencing something, you experience the name and the form. So there is a seen aspect to this existence, whatever through the five senses you're seeing, and there's a seer. So most often, the seen aspect is where the mind is focused. What is the seen? Whatever that is, coming through the five senses. And how the seen is seen? The seen is seen because of the seer. It is the seer who's giving a, in a way, life to that scene. Or in other words, the feeling of something is alive, something is real, something is alive. That aliveness is not in the sensation. Please notice. By the moment it reaches your mind, a sensation is a sensation is a sensation. Simply, in very raw terms, nothing but signals. It is nothing but some signal. If you imagine like a computer, in the computer, when you click a mouse or click a keyboard, what goes to that CPU? Nothing but some signal. The signal has no meaning. In the signal, there is nothing. It is in the interpretation of that signal that it causes certain change to happen. Similarly, sensation is a sensation is a sensation. It is in the mind because of the light of the self that that particular whatever the sensation comes alive. In other words, the sensations are jada, and the only chaitanya, the only true live, alive is you, the divine consciousness. And it is that which fills that jada, and the mind focuses on the whatever the form that it has filled. And the mind gets enamored by the form that appears. The mind gets into a form, the name of that form, and says, oh, this name is what I want. Because whenever that name form comes, depending upon different kinds of objects, imagine, there is a hunger, then something called as a food sits on the tongue, and the sensation of that appears. Then the mind gets into a deluded thinking that, oh, it is the food that made whatever the feeling that occurred, the feeling of pleasure. So when hunger was there was some sense of a pain, something that is unwanted by you. And when the food came on the tongue, that sensation of the hunger or that pain of the hunger went away. When the pain of the hunger went away, the mind was simply filled with that divine light. And the divine light is the very source of what you experience as happiness or pleasure. But the mind got into a thinking that, oh, that form that appeared, what the form? The food, whatever you kept on the tongue, which appeared in your mind. Oh, that is the cause of this sensation called pleasure. So then the mind gets into a loop of seeking more and more and more and more and more of it. That logic you already know. Once you get associated with pleasure is because of whatever may be that object, pleasure is because of, once when that logic sits in the mind, then the whole movement becomes seek that object of pleasure. So this is the fundamental basis of material search. Man mind means what? A mind filled with so-called society knowledge, man's knowledge. In other words, one who thinks I am a particular, say, form is a man. It could be tall, beautiful, ugly, various adjectives can be added. But the one who has a thinking that I am a certain deha is a man. So a deha-based thinking only thinks of other dehas. So there are a form-based thinking only injects form-based seeking only. I am a form, so I will seek forms. That is why human beings most often represent the divine in various human forms. So look at most of the representation by most of the cultures, except only in the Sanatana, there is place for Varaha, Narasimha. Otherwise, in most other places, it is a human, maybe a better looking human, a stronger human, a what that culture identifies as a beautiful human, who is represented as the divine. So, because the fundamental thinking is a form-based thinking, I am a form is a thinking that is lodged in that mind. So, it is a form that it is seeking. So, therefore, God is who? God is another form. There is a beautiful small joke. So, somebody went to a big buffalo grazing in the African forest and asked that buffalo, "Do you know God?" "Yes, I know God." "Can you describe God for me?" "Yes, I can describe." "Tell me." "God is much like me, but he's much taller. I am 5 feet, God is 8 feet. I have two horns that are 1 feet. God has very powerful horns, and his horns are 3 feet. You see my tail? God's tail is like a whip." So, like that, that buffalo also describes God. Now, is there anything wrong in the buffalo's description? In a way, no. Because the buffalo thinks he or she is a buffalo. So, therefore, ultimate for that buffalo is another buffalo. So, in a way, you and I seek what you and I think you and I need in life. So, same thing happens to everyone. Everyone gets lodged into this thinking that I am seeking something in life. And that seeking something in life has to happen in a way that can be experienced through the five senses. That is what the seeking becomes. Because whatever that is being sought is something that can be experienced through the five senses. And five senses are limited by the space in which it is operating and the time in which it is operating. So, therefore, when Krishna says Kshipram, Kshipram means, in a way, it is limited by time and space. Because what is unlimited is something that is beyond time and space. So, time and space cannot be said as long time. Lack of time and space or beyond time and space cannot be just the opposite of Kshipram. Kshipram means what? Fast. Then what would we think? Oh, slow. So we think in terms of dualities, fast, slow. But there is beyond time and space. Beyond time and space is not part of the duality. So fast is slow, but there is something that is beyond. So therefore, what Shri Krishna is pointing at is that whatever the name and form that you get associated with is not only necessarily what you and I go to a temple and then worship. If somebody is on the lookout for a job And if that fellow thinks that he is really unfit, but still wants a job, then goes and falls at the feet of somebody he or she thinks can give him a job. Maybe a principal of a college, maybe a politician, or maybe their community leader, whoever he or she thinks will enable him or her to get a job. That's how most of the things happen, no? In many cases, those people, whether they have the ability or not, because they belong to my community, they're represented, they're given the whatever, let's say the job. So Sri Krishna is pointing at how this man-made world is functioning. That what you are seeking, you then look at from whom I can get this benefit. So in a way, when somebody goes to a temple, the very first thing that the pujari says when doing puja is, what is your sankalpa? Sankalpa means what? What is that you are seeking through this puja? What are you seeking by performing this particular puja? And when you notice it little more deeply, it's a fantastic observation about how nature functions. Please notice what has come in your life as an experience is something that you first and foremost saw in your mind. So in a way, whatever gets created in the world gets created actually in a way twice. Once in your mind as a sankalpa. I want to eat masala dosa. I want to go to this movie. I want to talk to. So in a way, it first happens in the mind and then it manifests in the so-called world. So Sri Krishna is pointing at this magic of life happening. That whatever that is happening in your life, in a way, is because, like in the previous shloka, Sri Krishna said, I appear to them in the way they want me. Some want only the name and the form. So, name and the form of the divine may not yet know that beyond that name and the form, there is an aspect of the divine, which is the eternal aspect, which is their own true aspect, without realizing that name and the form is what most are caught up in. And Sri Krishna is not denying it. He is only observing life. He's saying, this is how life functions, Arjuna. He's not saying good and bad. He's saying, look, fire burns. Ice is cold. It's an observation. It is neither good nor bad. That is how it is. It's not about why is it like that. No, that is not the question. The question is, or the point is, the observation. Sri Krishna is simply observing life. Look, this is how life functions. People seek things, and what they seek is the way in which I appear to them. And whatever they are seeking, that is how I manifest. And the manifestation aspect, it is in the time and the space. So it appears like, when I want water, I simply go to water jug and drink water. Oh, it appeared so quickly. Some of them may take time, but still it is something that in a way, nothing but I want something thought, and once when I got it, oh, I got it thought. So it is these two thoughts that you're comparing. So how long did it take for you to become let's say today, if I ask all of you, how long did it take for you to become a graduate? You may not remember all those 14, 15, 16, or whatever the number of years that you and I might have spent. But in a way, Yeah, correct. I wanted and I became, yeah, it was little longer, but all that little details go away. So many days, so many hours, so many seconds, all that kind of, gets subdued. So it is the distance between these two thoughts, essentially, is what you refer as I wanted it and I got it. It was a sankalpa and now a siddhi. Sankalpa to siddhi distance. And that is always, in a way, can be explained, can be seen. And that is how you and I live life. So by pointing at how nature is functioning, Sri Krishna is helping you and me to realize the deeper aspects of existence. It's not that there is anything bad or wrong or negative with the material world, because fundamentally there is no spiritual and material world. It is like when you draw by dipping a brush in a paint, and when you keep drawing on the canvas, initially the color will look very dark, and as you keep on just the same brush, if you keep on moving on the canvas, towards the end it becomes lighter and lighter and lighter. So it is like same thing, but appearing in different hues and different shades. It's not that there's something else. It's all the same. But Sri Krishna is helping you and me to see how human mind functions. And by realizing how human mind functions, in a way, only by knowing how anything in life functions, you and I become aware of, oh, if there is a functioning, then what is that I, who is seeing the functioning, need from this function? So by drawing the attention to the functioning, the one who's seeing the function can then decide what is that I want to do with the functioning, how I want to be in harmony with the functioning. Hari Om. Is there any question or anything more that anybody wants to add or ask?
ಈ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಸೈಟ್ ನಮಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು.
ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಅಮ್ಮ. Any other points or questions? Smita ji, Krishna ji?
Yeah, well explained, especially how you are related to the material, the five senses, and that is even that is a materialistic reward. What we see, and then the seer, that is also a materialistic reward. They will explain.
Thank you. So if there are no more questions or no more points, so this particular shloka's contemplation we can end. And Krishna ji wanted to end the today's sessions quickly. So is it okay if we end our session here today?
Okay.
Hari Om.